Morning, Justice Warriors. Hello, Crime and Crochet. Dana, aka Squirrely Burger, Francine, G. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I did not set up my live last night the way I normally do because my husband snagged my laptop, so I couldn't get to it. So I set it up this morning, and now here we are. Let me take a drink of coffee real quick. I should just guzzle the whole thing. So, how are you guys? Friday, TGI Friday, although I say TGI Monday because with 4 kids, it's TGI Monday. I used to say that going to work is like a paid vacation as a mama. And, don't get me wrong, I love being a mom. I fought long and hard to be able to have kids. But man, those little boogers are relentless, aren't they? They just don't stop. You walk in the door and they just pounce and they're just like, Mom, this, Mom, that, Mom, Mom, Mom. So, good morning, Alistair Grant and Toby Toes. So, you guys, oh my goodness, where do we begin? Holy kaboli. Makeup date with Jack. It's good to see you. It's been a while. You guys, I told you about, and you know how I am. I don't like to rag on any channels. I don't like to rag on any content creators. But there's this channel, True Crime Time, that I put the link yesterday in the description to the live from the night before last. And guess what? It's already taken down. The live is. So the channel's still up. And in the comments from yesterday's, I think it was the Cliff Notes, or maybe it was the morning one. I put up a link to the most recent one, I think that they did. But remember, I said that you guys better go watch it fast and somebody better screen record it before it gets taken down. Please tell me one of you guys screen recorded it or at least watched it. I've got 3 in their 20s and 1 left home that will be 16 soon. 1 left at home. Wow. Yeah, I've had 3 teenagers for a few years now, and I'm going to continue having 3 teenagers for a few more years. Getting my butt kicked. So, but I don't like to complain. You know what I like to say is I'm really lucky to have those problems. I'm really lucky to have the problems of having 4 healthy kids. So, good morning, Alice, Moral, Dennis, and Alicia in Crime Story Diva. That is true. So, you guys, I'm so curious about this channel. If any of you have had a chance to check it out. And, when I first discovered it, I remembered people saying that they thought that there was something odd about it, like that they thought it was a law enforcement or something like that. And I was like, no, that can't be. Any law enforcement officer would be fired and probably sued for making a YouTube channel, a true crime channel, unless that was part of their job. So, of course, there's that. But whatever it is, something's up. And I mentioned this yesterday. I haven't had a chance to try to find it. Remember the video of some dude on his keyboard with his cell phone, and he was like talking, and you could see his reflection in the computer screen, and it was like it was made to look like the criminal defendant, or it was the criminal defendant. I don't think it was. I think it was somebody just yanking everybody's chain. And I think there's a lot of that in this case, especially. So, and they're like whispering. If anybody has access to that video off the, easy access, if you could email it to me, I would love that. So that whispering voice to me is a lot like the voice on True Crime Time. So when you're trying to look up the channel True Crime Time, there's a few of them because, with YouTube, you can have any name of any channel that you want. When you're a content creator, it doesn't matter if there's already like 100 with the same name, I don't think. Um, but the true crime time is the one with that profile picture of the black and white photo that's a tree line with the full moon. And it's the same image that is on one of Brent Kopaka's Facebook posts. And I'm just finding it super curious, you guys. Let me do my disclaimer. Everything I say is simply my opinion, simply for the sake of conversation, hoping to open up a discussion and be educational. My videos are all made for YouTube, which is an entertainment platform. So, can I just day the little robin that I have been feeding all winter brought its little kid out for some cheese today? Oh, wait, Alistair Grant. That's so cute. For a second, I thought you were speaking in metaphor. Can I just say the little robin that I've been feeding all winter brought its little kid out for some cheese today? Robins eat cheese? Really? I'm confused. That is really cute. That's very cool. So so I'm so curious, you guys, about that channel and about that live that he put out the night before last. I can't believe I watched it. I can't believe that I was awake because, I go to bed early and I wake up early, but I was kind of up most of the night. And for some reason, my YouTube feed showed me that that was live. I think it had just been dropped like an hour before I watched it, so that's how I was able to watch it on double speed. Um, and I'm gonna tell you again, like he went through the house. That was the title of it. Was I wish I did a screenshot. It was something like going through the floor plan. So he was discussing and showing, with I don't think it was 3D. I think it was like with realtor.com kind of stuff. And he said that there was a confrontation, a conflict, an interaction between Xana and the intruder at the corner of where that hallway meets the living room, and that they met right there, and that that's where the attack started, and that she tried to run, and that the attack continued like in the doorway of her room. It was really specific, and then it was like he realized what he was saying and he kind of walked it back and said or something like that, right? I was just like, what? I was just like, what? Really? Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. But um they love cheese. Google it. I did. Wow. And it's snowing a lot. Hey Sifa, good morning. Sima to Turna. I always want to say tuna. Sima Turna. Yeah. So you guys, these channels, and that redhead from Arkansas was another one. They seem like they're trying to portray themselves as just some average Joe that wants to make a YouTube true crime community. And like they're all like kind of touchy feely and weird about it. It's bizarre. It's really bizarre to me. And it's almost like they're making fun of the true crime community. They're mocking it, but they're trying to ingratiate themselves, I think. And it's annoying. It's super annoying. So I'm curious what you guys think. And please tell me somebody screen recorded that freaking live. So there's no lives on that channel at all. That was the only one. And then I went to look for it last night and it's gone. I put the link to it in my description of my morning video yesterday. But if you go to that link, it just says like that you need a code to have access, that if you've been given access to type your password in or something. Um, so I let the cat out of the bag, huh? I shouldn't have said nothing. Seriously. So also you'll see that on my thumbnail for this one, I have the screenshot of Roberta sticking her hand into the corner of that raised garden bed. That is so bizarre, and it's so annoying when you're trying to watch it on the videos and you're trying to get a good screen grab because there's just no good screen grab. It's all grainy and the hand is just like kind of coming up out and her hand is kind of blocking the hand when it's probably the best view of it. And then the way it's at the corner of the box and the way the fence is, it just obscures the view. It's really annoying, but thank goodness that that drone got that footage, right? I knew that whole situation in Mexico is suspicious, and there's a lot more to that story that they don't want out. Which story in Mexico, Dana, which story in Mexico are you referring to? The only one I can think of off the top of my head is in the Kylie Rodney case, and I want to apologize if I'm kind of blending these three cases right now. I hope that that's okay for my audience. The Kylie Rodney case, the Gabby Petito case, and the Idaho 4 case. It's funny that they're blending in my brain because maybe there's a connection. Maybe I don't know. There's a lot in the news right now with the cars telling and not telling. Like that's the biggest thing in the Murdoch trial. The attorney, the prosecuting attorney, that's all he's talking about in his interviews now. That's their biggest thing. Roberta is a very bizarre personality. Can you please re-summarize the topic now? Well, that's a great idea. Let me see if I can. I think I need more caffeine. Maybe would somebody like to jump in and try to help me out here? The comment right above you just read explains it. Okay, I looked. Hold on. I guess I'm half asleep. Your sleep bank, you're not really functioning off of last night's sleep, you're functioning off the night before last, which explains why yesterday I was fine during my video. I got a good night's sleep last night and I'm still just really half baked. So I will try to do that. The one where they went to get medical care and someone thought they were traffickers and killed two of the four. There you go. Thank you, Toby Toes. Because yeah, I try not to rewind because it just goes nutso on me. Finally, some crazy good lights. I will be putting them up in my art room tonight. You're so cool. Oh, I'm happy for you, Dilly. I hope that my lighting is getting there. I'm just trying to refine it so then I can just keep it consistently one specific way. I had all those flowers for a while and it just was like too many flowers. It's still a little much to me just with the flowers on the sheet that's covering the chair I'm sitting in. So I might change that too because you know I don't know. I'm just not like the grandma type, and the flowers are kind of grandma-esque. I'm sure I'm old enough to be a grandma, and I would love to be a grandma, but I want to portray visually how my show is, which it's very angular and well lit and dim, dark and tranquil. That's what that says. You guys probably can't read it because it's all out of focus. Tranquility with the eye, the second eye is upside down. So that's why I had to buy it. It's Scrabble letters. And with that second eye being upside down, I just thought that is the cutest thing in the world. And then there's a little heart right there. It's just silly, but I like to be whimsical like that. Anyway, I also like it when my brain works. So let me drink some more coffee and read what you guys are saying. Supposedly, the cartel has given 5 men that are responsible for the crime, along with an apology note. Oh, wow. An apology note? Whoa. I love your background. No, they're perfect. Your background is like a fairy tale scene. Well, when I look at it, I think of Where the Wild Things Are. And I also think of like a fairy garden, right? So yeah, that is kind of my thing. That's kind of my theme in my life. The way I have the gardens around my house, it's all very fairy garden like. And that book, man, Where the Wild Things Are, that is like one of the best, isn't it? Still to this day. Maurice Sendak, is that the author? Anyway, so yeah, it's wild. This thing with Mexico, you guys, thank you for pulling it together. The thing with the four tourists from South Carolina, and then the thing with the prosecuting attorney, that's South Carolina too, isn't it? From the Murdoch trial. So that's his thing. I mean, that's all he's talking about is corruption in the government and the cars that tell. So we're not in left field. We're not crazy. It's real. I mean, I knew that it wasn't left field and I knew that it wasn't crazy, but you get so much pushback. People don't want you to talk about it. People that are naive don't want you to talk about it because it does sound crazy and it's too scary. And people that are in the know don't want you to talk about it because they're probably on the take and they don't want their gravy train to stop. So it's a thing that's been going on forever, and it's getting worse, you guys. It's getting worse. That's why there needs to be the fighting against it and bringing it to light, talking about it. The cars telling want borders open, great for business, so mend the fence. Whoa. Wow. Crazy. It is so scary. And I remember back in the 80s when things in the Mexican government went toe up overnight. Do you guys remember that? What was it? Early 80s, like right around 1980, I think. I'm pretty sure. Maybe 81. 80, 81. I remember because I had family living in Mexico City and they moved in the middle of the night, a family of 6. They were pretty well off and they lived right in the center of Mexico City in a nice little like courtyard kind of place. And they moved to Southern California in the middle of the night. Like they had to get out. And it was like the peso like plummeted. It went from being worth like, I don't know, a half of a penny to being worth a 500th of a penny. Do you guys remember that? It's totally crazy. Um, with the government offering a $50,000 reward for these people, that immediately rose my suspicion. When has the US government offered reward money for people? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm so out of it. And let's see. Dana says, I'm sorry, I'm really invested in this case because it is my neck of the woods. Dana, what neck of the woods are you? I mean, I'm in Ohio and it's my neck of the woods. I'm telling you. It's definitely, Ohio has always been one of the key states for trafficking. Toledo, Ohio is especially bad, but pretty much all of Ohio. We're just very centrally located. We're within like 1,000 miles of 2/3 of the country's population, something like that. There's a lot of interesting statistics out there. So it is a good place. A lot of businesses have their flagship business in Ohio for that reason. And that would be one of them, right? North Carolina, right next to the South Carolina border. Yeah, it's so pretty down there. It's just gorgeous. Um, so yeah, you guys, the way those of us that followed the Kylie Rodney case and it started to bring up those issues, I was saying all along, whether these issues are true, specific to Kylie Rodney or not, at least they're being brought up. And I was kind of putting her in the framework of like the Elliot Ness of the emerald green triangle. That's what people have been calling the area around the Sierra, the Tahoe area for decades. People in California referred to it as the emerald green triangle because people would disappear there all the time. the way Trinity disappeared, the way Kylie disappeared, the way so many others that, they made that documentary, Everybody Counts, and the way we continue to see that. So even if the cars telling don't really have anything to do with Kylie's demise, it's definitely a huge issue in that area. And same with what's going on, in my opinion, same with what's going on in Moscow. So even if what happened in 1122 King Road is not directly connected to that type of activity, we know that there's a lot of that type of activity in that area. So it's shining a light on that. And it's also interesting wondering if there's if there is any connection between the two, the Kylie Rodney case. I told you guys my kind of quasi paranoid thought when Idaho 4 first happened was that it was a tactic to distract people away from the Kylie Rodney case, and that it was kind of staged. I mean, I thought, yeah, that these people are definitely deceased, but it also just seemed like an over dramatization, an overkill. And you've heard people talk about the red stuff coming out of the house. Would that red stuff really be that red coming out of the house? Because we all know that when the red stuff hits oxygen, it kind of isn't that bright red, right? So it makes you wonder. It makes you scratch your head. And, again, if it's going to be coming out of the foundation like that, then you can only imagine what it's like on the inside. And then we've got the conflicting stories that kind of cancel themselves out with people that were in there saying that it was a red stuff bath. And then other people saying, well, there was just one latent footprint that had cellular matter on it. Like, that makes no sense. Oh my goodness, something I've wanted to bring up with you guys forever. Is it just me, or is it insane when you see the video footage? I think it's Mabbott and a couple others that are walking around the perimeter right outside the house, like they're walking on that hill, like on the far side from where the red stuff was coming out. And they're like walking in leaves and debris, and they've got the little booties on, like the booties that they all should have been wearing in the house the whole time. They're wearing them when they're walking in the grass and the leaves outside of the house. The booties? Really? You guys, you've seen that footage, right? I mean, every time I see it, I'm just like, dear God. Like, that's not where you need the booties. You needed the booties going inside. The red stuff, in my opinion, has the rust color. Several nurses have agreed it appears to be the actual red stuff. Well, in my opinion, Annie Ruler, the red stuff that is like on the kitchen cabinets, like coming through the ceiling, is definitely rust colored. The stuff that's inside the house. The stuff on the outside of the house was like super bright cherry red, in my opinion. So yeah, I just don't know. I'm a few minutes behind still, but feel the cases are blending because they are all psych ops. I know it's psyops, but I like to say psych ops, if you don't mind me mispronouncing. I told you guys yesterday how I have a habit of mispronouncing things on purpose sometimes, in my opinion. So yeah, sassafras. Good morning. I'm a few minutes behind still, but the cases are blending because they are all psychops, in my opinion. I think that that's absolutely feasible. Maybe they tipped the tarp towards the floor wall accidentally. Oh, Annie. If it was anybody that said that, I'd think, yeah, that's a little far-fetched. But you were just like always right on the money. And the thing is that truth is always stranger than fiction. So just like the whole thing with that freaking garden box, the raised bed, and a hand coming out of it, like that was ridiculous and insane. And yeah, you think you're tripping. But truth is always stranger than fiction. I have missed the inside house red stuff. Annie Ruler, there were photographs taken from the outside where you could like see through the window and you could see some of it on the like the tops of the cabinets in the kitchen, and it was coming down and it was very, very rust colored. And when those images were first circulating on the internet, law enforcement was, of course, saying, "Oh no, that's not what that is. That's something totally different." And then they never could come up with what it actually was, and then maybe admitted that that is what it was. Like if you spill paint, nervous, make bigger mess. Yes, right, right. But yeah, I want to go back to the true crime time live from the night before last with that part of it. So nobody here saw it. I begged you guys to go see it right away and to screen record it because I don't know how to screen record. Ah, I'm sure somebody did. Or maybe you can go in the Wayback Machine and capture it, or maybe you can get a code from the content creator to have access to it. But when he talked about the confrontation, the kind of the hand-to-hand combat starting in the living room at the corner of the hallway and the living room meeting, that was just so wild. And then he described, of course, the intruder chasing Xana, and then the rest of the assault happening outside of the door of her room. And then he was like, or something like that. I don't know. It was wild. It was really wild. The whole live was really, really weird. And like I said, it was really weird that I caught it. Really bizarre. So I'm glad that I caught it. Um, the channel is a very well done channel. It's like it's professional. It's only been around for what, 3 months now? Like December 25th to January 25th to February 25th. Not even 3 months, like 2.5 months. And it's got well over 20,000 subs, which it had that many in the first like 4 weeks, I think. And then they've got all of their merch, which, that's probably not that hard to do. I haven't done it, but you probably just like contract with a YouTube company. Um, but it just seems very advanced for a brand new channel, is what I'm saying. So and it doesn't say that this content creator has other channels. And all of the videos that I've seen are so extremely informative that it's alarming. It's alarming. And when I first found the channel, I think it was some of you guys that were telling me that it was not what it appeared to be. So I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think. Um, was it precinct? I screenshot several commenters, but not the video. Dang. So Annie Ruler, I don't know what you mean by precinct. It was the live that True Crime Time put up the night before last. So probably started it roughly around midnight, and it was about an hour and 20 minutes long, I think, an hour and 17 to be exact. If we're trying to find it, I think it was an hour and 17 minutes. So if it started at around midnight and went till about 1 a.m., 1:15, and then I think it was about 2:15 when I saw it, because like I said, I was having trouble sleeping, somewhere around there, roughly. And then I watched it on double speed because it was taking him so long to formulate words, and it was his first live, so we'll give him that. Um, but yeah, is that the one that you took the screenshot of the commenters? Um, because I don't even remember there being the live chat in the live. Like I said, it was the middle of the night. I don't remember. Um, so are we talking about the same video, Annie Ruler? Sorry. If I made a big gulping noise, I'm going to do it again though. drinking. Oh, and that's funny what that content creator does. He like mutes it when he's drinking, which is good because yeah, we make a lot of slurpy noises when we're drinking without realizing it. So even when I'm as quiet as I can be, I know that when I'm watching it, I can still hear myself drinking. The title of the live was Precinct. Commenter on True Crime Vid said be posted on social media at 3:29. Wow, the title of the live was Precinct. Are we talking about the same one, do you think, Annie Ruler? And when did you watch it? When did you watch it? Did you watch it that night or did you watch it yesterday right after I recommended everybody try to watch it? Um and said that B posted 3:29. And what did she post at 3:29? Is that when she posted the photograph of herself with Kaylee? I remember a few months ago on Zav Girl, she spent a long time, you know how she does. She like hyper focuses. She was talking about the 3:30 a.m. post that not Bethany, but Dylan, right? That Dylan posted a picture of herself. Sorry, I was saying Dylan. I was thinking Dylan when I saw B there earlier a minute ago. Um, that Dylan posted the picture of herself with Kaylee from the party the night before, and that she posted it at 3:30. But then there was a lot of discussion on that live, and the group and Zav Girl all determined that when you're looking at a post, it tells you what time it was posted in your time zone. So Zav Girl being in Ohio as well, it said 3:30 a.m. was the time that it was posted, meaning it was actually 12:30, just after midnight in Idaho when it was posted. Let's see. There's a lot of the same stuff coming out, different people about what happened that night. One must be real, but which one? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that things that people have been saying recently about the time frame being all messed up, how do we know that things weren't happening well before 4 a.m., well before 2 a.m.? We know that Kaylee and Madison didn't get back to the house until a little bit before 2. But Ethan and Xana, for the longest time, the detectives were acting like they didn't know where Ethan and Xana were from 9 o'clock roughly until about 1:45 roughly. And it was like that 5 hours was just blank. And then Bethany said that she was at the same party with them until 1:45. But I'm wondering, there was like some kind of fight, altercation at the frat house. I'm wondering what happened between 9 o'clock and 1:45. I'm wondering if things hadn't happened to Xana and Ethan before the 2 a.m. mark. I'm just really curious. And then, of course, to have that 12-hour time from uh, 4 a.m. until 4 p.m., then you're not going to know when you've got that 12 hours. You're not going to know if you lost a few hours before the 12 hours. You're just not going to know. You're not going to be able to determine with temperature or any other insects, the types of things that are used in forensics. You're not going to be able to tell. So they needed to have that 12 hours so that they could set up this fake time frame, right? I mean, that's not too nuts, is it? What's nuts is crime. Crime is nuts, right? Let's see. Picture 3 pictures Bethany posted, for sure Bethany, like those two posted exact same time almost. Conspiring for timeline. I likely saw the live and jumped on. Irregular sleep pattern for me. Oh, okay. Oh, and that would make sense why I couldn't see the chat because after a live is recorded, you can't see chat for like 12 to 24 hours usually. So that's why I wasn't seeing anybody's comments. So, wow, 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 wow. I'm glad you caught it live, Annie. That's crazy. So, is that a channel that you normally watch? Because I had only found it maybe 6 weeks ago. I think it was about a month old when I found it, and like I said, it already had the 20,000 followers or subs. So right away, I was like, what is up with that? I always, when I see a new channel, I always like to find out when they started and, if they have other channels, basically what their background is. So I always go to the about part. Um, was it 1 hour only because he has a replay posted? It was 1 hour and 17 minutes, I think, Dana. Is it posted? Because, when I tried to go to it last night, it was not posted, but maybe I got blocked. Maybe it's just me. That is entirely possible, right? So yeah, if you go to that channel, is that live still up? It was the only live, and now when I go to that channel, there's not even a section for live. And if I go to the link that I have in my description from yesterday to try to go to it, it just says that you need a password if you have to have access to it. Defense will get metadata, show if Xana really ordered food or was that timeline being fudged with, see where her phone was. Metadata shows phone moving as person walks. 200 mules is excellent exam. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Right. We don't know that Xana was the one that was actually on her TikTok, and we don't know anything about the Jack in the Box DoorDash delivery being, you know, legit. We do not know. So the live replay is 1 hour, 1 minute, and some seconds. Oh, the live replay from mine or from True Crime Time. So if it could be that that it got edited, and then once you edit a live, it is not live anymore. Then it goes into your regular videos. So who knows? I'll check that out. I scan lives when can't sleep. Then to other channels, I subscribe for topics. That's a good way to go. Yeah. There's so many good channels. It's so hard to pick and choose. I was trying to catch up on the Squirrels on Fire last night from the night before last. I tried to watch it live the night before last with they were reviewing the CNY interview with SF Investigates, and I just couldn't. I just couldn't tolerate listening to that guy. But then last night I was able to tolerate it, and I was glad that I did because it was a really good live. I didn't get to see that much of it before I fell asleep. Thank goodness I fell asleep. Is the FBI involved in the Idaho 4? As far as I know, they showed up. I don't know when they showed up, but yeah, they're definitely involved. I want to say they showed up late December. I think they showed up earlier in the week when so he got arrested on the 30th. I think they showed up the 26th, somewhere between the 23rd and the 26th, but it was the 27th that the Corner Club screenshot of the surveillance camera that was released on the interwebs on December 27th. So that channel, True Crime Time, that just started on December 25th, they had 2 drops on the 28th, both about that. And then on the 29th, it was determined that it was Jack D. It was confirmed from the insiders that that was Jack D in the screenshot. So, and then the arrest happened the very next day, and then everybody forgot about Jack D and the Corner Club screenshot and the man without a face and all of that jazz. So And yeah, you got to wonder with the feds and Homeland Security being involved in the Kylie Rodney case. That was bizarre. That was truly bizarre. Like big red flags. Like those entities don't come out in droves when there's a missing kid, especially if there's not an Amber Alert. Remember, there was no Amber Alert with Kylie Rodney. That's crazy. No Amber Alert with Trinity Backus. Um, hey, Crime and Crochet, please hit the like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Yes, thanks for the reminder. Please like, subscribe, share, and thank you so much for being here, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Mod Alistair Grant says, when Dylan said she was frozen, in my opinion, she got that from the girls because that is exactly who would under the surroundings that they walked into. Oh, you mean like the which girls? Are you talking about like the two girls coming home? Or are you talking about the people that were summoned? That just kills me that they summoned friends, that Chief Fry uses that terminology. Well, they summoned their friends and then some time passed and then they called 911. Like it's a thing to summon friends. It's like, no, you summon first responders. You don't summon anybody except first responders when there's freaking bloodbath at your house. I mean, seriously, you guys, it makes no sense for the two survivors to see that. What would make them not think that whoever did it is coming right back for them or is still in the house? Like they would try to get out of there. They would try to get out of there. They would be scared to death. They would be calling 911 immediately. I mean, the whole thing is just a sham, in my humble opinion. So, you guys, I'm going to wrap up because me brain no worky. We're just at about 42 minutes. And, I'm just, like I said, functioning off of the few hours of sleep that I got the night before last. Thank goodness I got a good night's sleep last night. The live I watched was 52 minutes and says 6 days ago. No live chat, but what I screenshot had comments already. The stuff all blends together. So Annie Ruler, the live on the channel that I keep talking about, the True Crime Time, there was only the one live. There was no other lives. And now that that live has been taken down, there's not even a section for lives. So we might be talking about totally different things. I know that there's a couple other good channels called True Crime Time. One of them has numbers right after it, and then another one has some words right after it. The one I'm talking about is the one that has the black and white profile picture with the tree line and the full moon. That's the exact same image in one of Brent Kopaka's posts on Facebook. But in Kopaka's post, it's kind of like squished. So it's a little shaped a little bit differently, but it's the exact same tree line and everything. So, that had grabbed my attention a couple of days ago. And then that thing, I mean, that's the problem with these potentially psych ops, fake true crime channels, is it's hard enough to keep up with all of the effery already. And then you've got these weirdos like coming from Arkansas with their the letter from the college, right? That they got access to, that then Ashley Banfield pretended was real. I mean, we're not hearing anything about that, you guys. Like that's just like disappearing. That's just evaporating. These fake channels with this fake information. Remember the people that were around on true crime, and I wasn't when the Watts case first broke. Those folks involved in the inner workings of the Watts case in Colorado came out in droves like an army on true crime community, interweb, YouTube. So I think we're getting that again. I think we're getting that again. Um, Let's see. I don't think Dylan has really given a statement. I think the police put words in the affidavit claiming it came from Dylan. Get some rest, do something nice for yourself. Aw. Yeah, it's been a week with the anniversary of my mother's passing. And you guys know she had kidney failure for 10 years, so it was a long drawn out process, and it was hard to watch her languish. It was nice to have a lot of time to say goodbye and to prepare. That's all I'll say about that for now. Love you all, and you enjoy your day. Kaylee and Maddie, Alistair Grant says. Yeah. And TCT Precinct Live Discussion, title of video I watched, Precinct Live Discussion. Thanks, Annie Ruler. I will check out what I'm talking about. No receipts, no believe, Crime and Crochet. Yeah. I mean, that you're talking about that whole thing with the ridiculous letter. Oh, I have the receipt right here. I'm just not going to show it to you. That's what Little Miss Arkansas said. Annie Ruler is just true crime time. Right, but there's a lot of channels with that name, True Crime Time, in my experience. My father died right before his 41st birthday when I was only 21 years old. So I understand. Wow. So he had he had made you when he was 20. That's wild. Um, and yeah, I'm so sorry. That is really rough. I don't think there's really a good way to lose a loved one. Like, it's nice to have time to say goodbye, but it's also very painful to watch your loved one languish. So in some sense, it's kind of a blessing for it to happen quickly. But there's just no good way to lose someone you love. But I do think that when someone is older and it's natural causes, it's easier to handle than when it's unexpected and tragic and violent, and especially the victimization. I think that's the worst. To think that anybody in this world thinks that they have the right to extinguish the life of another is absolutely unfathomable to me. Absolutely unfathomable. So, on that, I'm going to sign off, you guys. Thank you for being here. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great day and get some rest. I will. Get your exercise. I did get my exercise yesterday. Eat well. Make sure you get your high protein and high produce intake. Lots of vegetables. Be kind to yourself, be kind to other people, eat, pray, love, get your fresh air and sunshine every single day. Do something super nice for someone, like go out of your way, kind of bend over backwards and do something nice for somebody, like, deliver them dinner unexpectedly, right? I love doing that. I have a neighbor across the street. I do that for her every so often. She lost her husband a couple of years ago. So I did that a week ago today. I took her a fish dinner from a fish fry. And then a few days ago, I took her some Chinese food. So it's fun. It's fun to surprise your friends with cool stuff like that. Like there's a friend that I used to just sometimes pop in and surprise him with a giant coffee because he was like me and I knew he always needed a giant coffee. So, all right, you guys, what's God's number one sin? What did I miss? So let me just read these last few. You are never prepared. It just gets better with time. Yeah, I agree. Have you watched my latest Kylie drop? I started it, Crime and Crochet. I will get to that today. Yeah, I was really excited that you did it. The 40-minute one, is that the one you're talking about? The one about going over Sammy's interview again. But I've watched your unicorn one at least 3 times, if not 4 or 5 times. And I need to watch it again today. It just tickles my fancy. It is hilarious. And every time I watch it, I catch something new. And I just love it. So thank you so much. It is good to have friends. Absolutely. We all need friends. Yes. Think of that Red Hot Chili Pepper song, Me and My Friends. That's the one. All right. Ultimate sin is taking the life of another. Thank you. Yeah. It's really gruesome. It's really, really gruesome. It's just so dark. It's so evil. Think of some MF like Brian Laundrie. It's so disgusting. The unicorn one was fun to make. Oh, and can you tell me what program you used? Somebody asked me if you wouldn't mind sharing that information. If you want to email it to me or put it in chat, either one, if you're willing to share, I would love to pass that info along to my friend. Yeah, Adobe Character Animator. I'm going to write that down. Adobe Character Animator. Thank you. I will go watch your new video, Crime and Crochet. You guys will love it. You guys will absolutely love it. So peace out. Sending you light, sending you love, sending you namaste. And we will see you over the weekend. I'm sure I'll have to do a live over the weekend. And I'll be doing my Cliff Notes in a little bit. Thanks.